Hi everyone. Today is January 25th, 2016, and in this video I wanted to review something that um, is occurring behind the scenes, but apparently because we know the Bible and biblical truth, we know for certain that these events will occur, especially concerning the mark of the beast, the National Sunday Law, as it says in Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the foreheads, that no man might be able to buy or sell, save he that have the mark of the beast and the number of his name. Um, and because of this important mark of the beast, and it will occur sometime in the future, in the near future, we were starting to see the scenes of how this will come about. Keep in mind that the mark of the beast, the Sunday Law, will be pushed secretly by the Pope and also the Roman Catholic Church. And now we're starting to see that they're moving forward with this implementation of the Mark of the Beast, or National Sunday Law. And this article here, it reads, Apple CEO Tim Cook's private meeting with Pope Francis. And sure, this may seem as a random meeting between the Apple CEO and Pope Francis, but this meeting, here in the article, it states something that jumped out at me and should jump out at you and cause you to think. While it's unknown what was on the agenda, a photo shows the two men exchanging gifts today during a private audience at the Vatican that took place around 11:30 a.m. local time. The meeting comes a week after the pontiff met with Alphabet, that's the new Google company, parent company, Chairman Eric Schmidt. So Alphabet is the recently formed parent company of Google. So in 2 weeks, Pope Francis has met with the CEOs of not only Google but also Apple. And again, keep in mind that Apple and Google are the two companies in which all mobile smartphones have their software running as the operating system. So Google and Apple hold about the information, the private and public information of practically everyone in America and a large majority of the world. So just to keep that in mind, how dangerous this all may be when Pope Francis begins meeting with an Apple CEO and also the Google CEO. Technology, in this article from time.com, technology is destroying our inner lives. We reminded how the intrusion of privacy ultimately is led by Apple and Google and their cell phones and also software. Shocked by this intrusion. So this author is reading a book, and The Art of Stillness, underlining as I read, I was completely unnerved when a message popped up to announce you're the 123rd user to underline this same passage. Shocked by this intrusion, I threw the iPad onto the bed and nearly out the window. Sickening feeling came over me then. I became afraid somehow someone was reading over my shoulder, not a person, but a program, calculating what I found most important in the text. Was I supposed to feel validated or banal? To learn that a passage I noted many others also liked? Or was this data only for some marketing strategy? The idea of surveillance in the abstract has not bothered me as much as it perhaps should. Again, here it just explains how far all of this technology, mobile phone technology and also smartphone technology, that has intruded in the lives of many people and their privacy. And with all this data on hand, it creates for a frightful reality when you realize that these 5 companies, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Microsoft, practically influence every technology decision that's made in America today and in the world. Here it says though competition between the 5 remains fierce, and each year a few of them seem up and a few down, it's becoming harder to picture how any one of them, let alone 2 or 3, may see their growing clout in every aspect of American business and society. So all these businesses have a great deal of influence on not only the American economy, but also society as well. So with all this influence, Pope Francis seeks to use his influence to influence this great influence over American society, and that influences American society, but also the world as well. And with that in mind, this article becomes even more significant when given this context of how in 2015 saw the most violent persecution of Christians in modern history. This was a study done by Open Doors, an organization founded in 1955 to assist persecuted Christians, publishes an annual World Watch List, which documents the attacks on Christians and ranks the most hostile national environments for believers. According to this list, North Korea, for the 14th consecutive year, is number 1. Overall, there were 7,000 Christians who died in 2015 due to persecution for their beliefs. In North Korea, the number 1 country on this list, there are 50,000 to 70,000 Christians that are imprisoned in labor camps. So keep in mind that in the United States also there are FEMA camps waiting to be full with people, Christians as well. And that, North Korea is just the example, the model that in which will soon be followed elsewhere. Keep in mind that not only is a large majority of the countries on this list Muslim or Islamic, but also keep in mind that ultimately, as the Bible states, it's the beast that will cause this persecution, where no man will be able to buy or sell unless they have the mark of the beast. And the Roman Catholic Pope, again, is this beast, is now the head of this beast that will that's setting in place this the mark of the beast system now in the world. Another article from ChristianNews.net, global Christian persecution unprecedented in 2015. Here it says Christians are caught here in the crossfire of 2 different battles. So describing Christians in the Middle East and Iraq, one for a Kurdish autonomous country and one for a religious cleansing of Iraq by Islamic terrorist groups who wish to make the country purely Islamic. Open Doors USA explained. On the other hand, amidst the current crisis, there are also sparks of hope as opportunities arise for churches to reach out to refugees. So again, Christians in the Middle East have are caught between two sides of wars. One is the Islamic side, and then the other side is the Kurds that seek to create their own autonomous country. This is similar to the strategy that was used back in the Middle Ages, where during the Crusades, the Roman Catholic Church was on one side seeking to control Jerusalem, and then on the other side, where the Islamic who were seeking also to gain control of Jerusalem, and in the middle was caught many Christians who were also Sabbath keepers and Jews. So again, all these things shows that once again, Christianity is being will in the future, as the Bible states, be persecuted, especially for those who don't take the mark of the beast and seek to follow God. So here are the 10 countries in the 2016 World Watch List for the countries are especially dangerous for Christians to be in: North Korea, Iraq, Eritrea in Africa, Afghanistan, Syria, Pakistan, Somalia, Sudan, Iran, and Libya. So all these have conflicts or have been the sites of conflicts in the recent years. So, but another important part is how this relates to the current presidential election. So now, religion is now slowly becoming a issue at the forefront in this election. Here's an example in the Dallas Morning News. Even in less evangelical New Hampshire, Ted Cruz sticking to religion. And if you scroll down here, Senator Ted Cruz, it says here, Senator Ted Cruz campaign for president has featured strong references to faith and Christianity, which he says will help restore the country to greatness. Again, he says here, for too long, there has been a spirit of fear and timidity in Washington. Cruz told the Dallas Morning News on the second day of his New Hampshire tour. He continues on saying, "We should not be ashamed of Christ. We should be willing to speak the truth with a smile." And Cruz went on to say that the nation must return to its Judeo-Christian roots. I agree with that, but again, the way it will be done, it will be a way in which the Bible foretells of this mark of the beast. Keep in mind, the mark of the beast is a Sunday law, a national Sunday law, which will force every man and woman, not only in America but in the world, to go to church on Sunday. If you don't go to church on Sunday, you'll lose access to information, money, access to bank accounts, and your money, basically, as the Bible foretold. But not only that, but here, Trump also is again bringing Christianity to the forefront. In this article from thehill.com, Trump says that Christianity is under siege, which is true. GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump touted his faith at Liberty University on Monday, telling the conservative college that Christians have to band together because their religion is under siege, which is true. "We're going to protect Christianity," he said. "If you look at what's going on throughout the world, Christianity is under siege." So again, he also knows of the Christians are being targeted by terrorist groups in Syria, in the Middle East. And Trump does know, again, the things that are going on in the world. He said in this rally that I'm Protestant. I'm very proud of it, Presbyterian to be exact. But things are happening. Very bad things are happening. And again, now we have to look at just how bad these things are happening. So again, keep in mind that this is the presidential election, and during these presidential elections, the candidates say anything and everything just to get votes from the people. It has happened time and time again. If you look at in 2001, George Bush said he wouldn't send troops abroad to, I guess, babysit nations. But that's what he exactly did during his presidency. In 2008, Obama said he would, when he's elected to office, he would remove troops from, Iraq and Afghanistan and all these things. And again, nothing has happened in that regard. And now the big issue in 2016 will be Christianity. And again, candidates are saying anything and everything to gain the confidence of the Christian voter. But the thing is that in the next, in the near future, this mark of the beast is coming, especially if these candidates are submit themselves to the authority of the Pope. Keep in mind that if either by being Catholic or by being a Mason, ultimately they have to submit themselves to the Pope in one way or form. Okay, again, what evidence we have that these candidates are involved in things that shouldn't be? Again, this is an article from the Daily Mail about Ted Cruz, world domination, that sort of stuff. 18-year-old Ted Cruz outlines his ambitions in 1988 home movie. At 18, he was incredibly confident, boasting of future world domination. So this is the same Senator Ted Cruz that today is the leader of the conservative Tea Party movement and all these things. So again, just I say these things just to warn you that again, if people were fooled by Obama, again, you should try doing your research before you consider voting for anyone. And again, this doesn't mean that I'm trying to tell you vote Democrat or anything like that, because again, the other side is two sides of the same coin. So again, Hillary Clinton has shown trouble in the terms of Benghazi and all these things. So again, put your if you're seeking to vote or thinking about voting, put your focus on God first and foremost, and Jesus Christ and the Bible, and God will take care of you. Don't expect that by voting for one person that they will automatically take care of your problems, like many people did during the Obama. When Obama was elected in 2008. So again, here he says, take over the world domination, rich, powerful, that sort of stuff. He chuckles while sitting at the edge of an idyllic water fountain at Second Baptist School in Houston, Texas. again, this is when he was younger. Sure, we say lots of things that when we were younger, but still, again, it isn't a coincidence that Ted Cruz is a potential candidate. Keep in mind that the North American Union is still something that's still on the table that the New World Order wants to achieve, and Ted Cruz is the person they would like to bring this about, or Trump. But again, Trump, he exudes confidence and gets people to vote for him. But again, this may be another, again, Obama type of deception happening here, especially when you look into just his affiliations. So here in this article from the Political Connection, patriot or fascist. I know that's harsh, but in a moment you'll see what I mean. So who is Trump? How does he have this sort of special past that allows him to do anything, act like a complete and utter child, and still receive the love and media and the left and the polls? Of course, sometimes the polls seem to show him as having competition, but it varies. Otherwise look realistic. Would it? If you look closely, you will see a few traits that seem to be very similar to a Jesuit-trained President Bill Clinton, and such qualities may make Trump loved by American men in the home of immoral and the land of irresponsible. So here, some qualities, but then the most important things are that Donald Trump is a Knight of Malta, as shown in an extremely eye-opening article. This article is from, again, VaticanAssassins.org. Again, so VaticanAssassins.org is a site that compiles information and documents information of how the Jesuits have gained control of America and the world. In this article, former Republican U.S. Senator George F. Allen, potential fascist U.S. dictator. And if you scroll down, okay. Now the fun begins. As a result of Jesuit temporal coadjutor George F. Allen obeying his occult papal masters, this traitor is reassigned to serve on the Reagan Ranch Board of Governors of Young America's Foundation, playing the part of an acting Reagan Ranch presidential scholar. How cute. And with this conservative Republican cover, the order founded and built the Promise Friends of George Allen organization, located in Arlington, Virginia. To review this incredible list of names, see the link. So there's a link if you want to look at that list. Among these most notable New Right pundits are, among these lists, such as Pat Buchanan, George H.W. Bush, and son Jeb, and brother Prescott Bush Jr., and Frank Carlucci, Pete Coors, Bill Gates, Thomas Moynihan, and Colin Powell, Pat Robertson, and at the bottom of this list here we have Knight of Malta, Donald Trump. Okay, and so what are some signs that he's a Knight of Malta? Or again, he went to school at Fordham University. If you will go here, which is a school run by the Jesuits. So scroll down. Again, Donald Trump, billionaire, real estate tycoon, TV personality. went to school at Fordham University, which is a school run by the Jesuits in New York City. Not only that, but Time magazine has an interesting article of how a KKK leader finds Donald Trump a great recruiting tool. And this was fairly recent, in December 21st, 2015. Here it says, Donald Trump is inspiring white supremacists, according to a national organizer of a leading Ku Klux Klan group. And the candid rhetoric is being used to recruit more of them. The KKK is using Republican presidential frontrunner as an outreach tool. Rachel Pendergraft, the national membership coordinator for the Knights of Party, told the Washington Post Trump's candidacy, which has been characterized by often divisive nativist rhetoric, has electrified some members, the newspaper reported Monday. The overall momentum of his rallies and his campaign, Pendergraft said, they act like he's not willing to back down. He says that what he believes and stands on that. So again, all this are not good signs if you look towards Trump as the guy solving all your problems. But the most concerning thing about Trump is his statement made recently at this Politicus USA article. Here, I have it here, I think. Yeah. Again, here, the title of the article reads, "This is why Donald Trump sounds and acts like Adolf Hitler." This is fairly recent. This was from December 13th, 2015. You scroll down, it says here, the Hitler volume, My New Order, not only contains 23 years' worth of Hitler's speeches, it is profusely indexed and filled with details about the speech's impact on the media and the political establishment. According to a literary periodical, Kirkus Review, Trump's collection of Hitler speeches contains actual quotations from Hitler's own utterances, including corresponding data showing the effect on the world press. Section after section follows pattern background, speech, and press. And Donald Trump faithfully follows Hitler's model. So, again, the way Trump rages like a madman, responds aggressively in public, argues closely follows Hitler's instructions in the New Order. So basically, everything we have been seeing from Trump in the election campaign thus far, all the rhetoric, all the outbursts, everything he has said, has added the foundation this Hitler model, that in My New Order. So again, keep in mind that so where does this lead? So if the next president, whether it be Trump, Ted Cruz, or Hillary, they all of them have to be ready to implement the Mark of the Beast, the Sunday Law. It looks like Trump is the favorite to do so because, again, he's a Jesuit. He studied at Fordham University. But again, why is that important? Because this Pope here, Pope Francis, is the first Jesuit Pope. And again, they show priority to, again, those who have studied in Jesuit institutions, are Catholic. So again, you have to do a lot of research into what's going on in the world. And again, another important something that's very important also to mention is what's happened recently in Congress. Now, all of this information, again, is concerning, especially for those who follow, again, politics and Republican debates and don't know about these secret societies and how they have influence over not only what happens in politics in America, but around the world. But also, all this you have to keep in mind with the given context of what's happening recently in the Senate. Senate leader Mitch McConnell recently, here's the article from defense1.com. So Senate leader surprises lawmakers with new ISIS war powers request. So let me just read a little bit here. Neither Republicans nor Democrats knew the majority leader planned to set up a debate on authorizing the use of force against the Islamic State. So Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell offered members a snow weekend surprise late Wednesday night, quietly teeing up a debate on the legal underpinning for the fight against ISIS. Okay? And if you scroll down, okay. So again here, after months of worrying that such resolution, known as the authorization for the use of military force, would tie the next president's hands, McConnell's move to fast-track the measure surprised even his top deputy, Senate Majority Leader Whip John Cornyn, who was unaware that Mitch McConnell had set up the authorization. He did. Cornyn asked the National Journal on Thursday morning. So remember, a couple months ago, there was a whole debate of whether a law should be fast-tracked, and this whole debate ultimately they allowed the new change in rules so that some bills and some laws could be fast-tracked in Congress, so in order to get approved faster, because again, Obamacare took a long time to get approved, and they didn't want to have the same issue when they need important laws to get passed in America in order to actually change the political landscape in implementing the New World Order here in America. So now with this authorization of military force, they plan on fast-tracking this. And this authorization for military force put forward by McConnell is significant in that it would not restrict the president's use of ground troops. So again, it's like giving the president access to as many troops as he wants, and not only that, nor have any limits related to time or geography. So not only that, now this geography including the United States and the world, basically. So now the president can send any amount of troops he wants to anywhere in the world for as long as he wants, and keep them there for as long as he wants, all under the president's control. And again, this is this power, this authorization for military force, because ISIS again is a terrorist organization. Terrorist organization is again they target in a place that's known in the world, but again it's their attacks are random, unknown, and therefore, because they're random and unknown, in order to cover the random and unknown, you have to cover everything. So that's the whole philosophy, evil philosophy behind this. And then again, so therefore, the president is given unlimited use of ground troops and unlimited time and geography in order to fight a terrorist organization called ISIS. So this all, again, is concerning when, again, you have presidents who are Republican candidates who, again, have to submit themselves to, again, this Pope here. And not only that, but keep in mind that who not only seeks the public and private information of Apple users and also Google users, but also is planning on implementing the mark of the beast as foretold in the Bible. And all this together has been foretold long ago in the Bible. If you read Daniel 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, Michael being Jesus Christ. Michael is a Hebrew for he who is like God, and only Jesus Christ was he who is like God. Shall stand up the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And then there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So again, we're seeing that time of trouble being developed right now. There's so many things happening in the world today, and people are not, I guess, paying attention to the many signs of the trouble that's just forming around not only American society but also the world. And again, at that time, that thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. This refers to the second coming of Jesus Christ. So again, this time of trouble is a sign that pretty soon Jesus Christ is coming, and we have to do all our best to prepare by praying daily to Him, studying, reading His words in the Bible, so that we are, because everything that is told in the Bible was meant for us in these end times. Keep in mind that the Bible has survived 2,000 years, even after all the things that was done by the Roman Catholic Church to keep the Bible away from the hands of laymen, from all the times the Bible was burned and all these things. Again, it's still accessible today for the purpose of saving people living today who don't know, are unaware of all these secret things happening behind the scenes. And so we should look at Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone. And again, the Bible warns us and foretells that in these end times, this time of trouble will get even worse. Because, again, here it says in Revelation 20, verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received the mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. So basically, this mark of the beast that's being implemented by the Pope, the beast, will ultimately be seen, and when it's enforced, they're going to implement apparently some type of martial law, which will cause people to, again, the thing is that they want to ultimately force you to go to church on Sunday, and if you refuse, you'll be beheaded. But then again, keep in mind that if you are beheaded for Christ, then you will be saved and resurrected at His second coming. So again, but the rest of that living live not again until 1,000 years were finished. And this is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. So this first resurrection is when Jesus Christ comes at his second coming. On such the second death have no power, meaning that you'll live forever, basically, because the second death refers to the judgment, the death of Judgment Day by God. But they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So, and 1,000 years means after the second coming of Jesus Christ, all those who are resurrected and all those who are alive at that time, whose bodies would change in a blink of an eye, will go to heaven for 1,000 years. And in those 1,000 years, they will review the judgments of all humanity, just to make sure that again they'll be like the jury basically of this God's legal system. And then after the 1,000 years, they'll come back, and then again, the rest who were not saved will be resurrected for judgment, and then again, the punishment for sin is death, and that death will be eternal. So, but in Jesus Christ, if you believe in him, do his will, follow the Bible, pray to him, again, tell others of Christ and his love, then you will be saved. So keep this in mind. Again, pray for those who are being persecuted throughout the world. Many Christians throughout the world are being persecuted. Say a prayer for them tonight. Continue to have them in your prayers and in thoughts. And again, on that note, that's it. And have a good night. And talk to you soon.